Right, how's it going, guys? What's up, Dan?
What's up?
15 seconds left on the timer, but I started early because I'm cool like that. Not much. Some fucking shit happened this week. Sorry to start so vulgar, but that's the only way I can describe it.
You said we're not live yet, though, right? Or are we gonna wait for a moment?
Oh, we are. What do you mean?
Oh, sorry. I thought you said we weren't live. Hi.
No, I said we are, dude. We're totally live.
My bad. Hi. Yeah, it was a busy week, and we got a lot to talk about. And there was a $70 billion announcement, and it wasn't that either of us won $70 billion, or we likely wouldn't be on this podcast right now.
This podcast would be sick.
This podcast would have we'd be doing a live show, I think, right now in like the desert or something. I don't know if $70 billion would appear that quickly, but
on the show as a guest.
I don't know how that would work because I feel like he'd probably, I don't know if money would just allow us immediate access to him. Yeah, like if that happened on Tuesday, let's say you won. First of all, welcome to Ords Free, where we don't have $70 billion in liquid income at any or liquid assets in any conceivable form. If we got $70 billion on Tuesday, how by Friday would that change your life significantly? Like, what could you do in 4 days?
I could tweet Phil Spencer and be like, I got $5 billion if you just fly on over here and come on our podcast.
I could tweet that right now to him. I'm not going to get a response whether I have the $7 billion or not. And also,
yeah. Okay, you know what? That's fair. He's not going to believe you. That's true.
Yeah. You could buy 1,000 followers and give yourself some fake credibility to see if that
bump your numbers up. Yeah.
My point is that if $70 billion fell into your lap on Tuesday, like I don't think a lot would change in 4 days. I think it would be more of like a 7 to 10 day change.
yeah. Well, you got to like get the money, the taxes got to get taken out, all that stuff. Like there's a process involved, I'm sure.
You might have like $3 million at the end of it, and what are you really going to do with that? Anyways, welcome to Or It's Free, where we incorrectly estimate how much taxes would be taken off on a $70 billion inheritance or lottery win.
We just dive into intense discussions about what we would do with large sums we have.
I would I don't know. Maybe that's a topic for the Slice podcast when we bring that back. If you had $70 billion fall into your lap, what would you do? My God, that is an inconceivable amount of money.
Yeah.
Welcome. It's a different day of the week. It's Friday.
Yeah. How you feeling, Dad?
Feeling better, man. My face is not a ball anymore, which is great. Doesn't look like I had my wisdom teeth out yesterday.
Your face is a ball.
I don't have a ball protruding from my face. Does that make more sense?
Yeah. There
Love it.
I follow you now.
Yeah. The reference is that I fell ill earlier this week, and I had basically a fist-sized inflammation on the left side of my face, and I was not able to talk or eat solid foods, and it was great. And that's why we're doing the show a day late, because my face was not fully healed by yesterday, and I didn't want to subject our 3 viewers to what is an already hard to digest face. Anyways, so we've got a big show today. Lots of stuff happened, and we're excited to get into it. But first and foremost, let's introduce each other. Or not each other. I'm just going to introduce the podcast, and I'm going to talk about you, and you're going to talk about you, and I'm going to talk about me, and then we're going to talk about some shit.
All right.
Or It's Free, our weekly gaming podcast / Twitch show live that is taking place currently on a Friday, but typically would be on what day, Devyn?
It would be on a Thursday.
At what time, Devyn?
It would be at 9 p.m.
On what channel, Devyn?
Twitch.tv/SliceTO. The Slice TO, to be more specific. Here you go. There's a schedule for you there. Just popped it up on the screen there. I know there's a timer. We'll kick it back, though.
Yeah. So that's us. We're
YouTubes and the tweeters and you got the socials down there. You don't have to.
The Insta. Yeah, they're all on the bottom. We got the Slice TO on your favorite social media platform where you'd like to deliberate who your favorite console is for whatever reason. People still argue that. But yeah, you can find us on all those social media on Thursday. You can find us every day on social media. You can find us here on Thursdays, except this week we're on Friday. And you'll hear us tomorrow on your favorite streaming platform or your favorite podcast platform. Sorry, not streaming platforms, podcast platforms. And yeah, that's pretty much, that's pretty much our intro. And we've got a lot to talk about. So,
who are you?
My name is Daniel.
My name's also Daniel.
That's a falsehood.
My name's Devyn. He's Daniel. I'm
You're
Daniel.
a liar.
We play video games. We talk about video games. What happened in video games this week, Daniel?
I mean, do we want to lead with that? Or do we want to talk about what we played first?
Yeah, we can reverse these it. Do a little suplex on it this week. I'm down with that.
I had a busy fucking week, dude. I'm excited to talk about
you got
all the games I played.
Literally like a day, one for each day of this week. You played a game almost, or beat a game.
To Devyn's who obviously has a different take on this. I was able to go through my backlog. I'm also trying to emulate with this piece of broccoli what my face looked like yesterday.
Oh, okay. Can I just tell a quick little anecdote about the thing you're eating right now? I saw you put it in your mouth. The
broccoli stem?
Yeah, I saw you put it in your mouth, and I was like, oh, he's eating lettuce. And then I saw you chewing it, and I was like, that seems like pretty thick for lettuce. And I was like, is that like a green frog? He's eating a green candy frog? I was like, oh, he's pretty brave after he's sick. And then you mentioned the broccoli. And I was like, oh, the mystery solved. It was broccoli.
Broccoli stem. There was no, they cut off the treetop on my broccoli.
That's the best part of it, though.
To be fair, I ate it earlier. So this is just a result of me eating it earlier. I've got a little veggie tray next to me because I did not eat earlier. Anyways, yeah. I had a busy week.
Yeah. Let's go down the list, dude. You take it away.
You start. I'm gonna chew this broccoli real quick. What did you play?
What did I play? So, well, I'll get into the other one. I'll hand it off to you via the one we played together. But so I played. Actually, I know I played this with you. I don't know if I told you this, but I started playing Astroneer with my roommate for a bit. So me and him hopped in and like we jumped around and ran around in our little planet, and it was really cool because I hadn't played that game like intensely since it first released. So there was a lot of new stuff in the game, which was really cool. We got to we both got pretty far into it. We watched a documentary. So actually I'll kind of are into video game documentaries. Go to YouTube, go to NoClip and watch their documentary on Astroneer. They kind of like specified two different types of players, or more than two different types, but you know, they kind of like recognize that people just play sandbox games in various different ways. And there's kind of like archetypes that naturally come out of people that play sandbox games. So we like recognized right away that like he was the type that likes to build the technology and like craft the things, and I was the type that just ran as far as I could run and just like explore everything. And like basically I got bored really quickly with the terrain and just wanted to just see new things always, so I was just constantly like moving around and finding new things, whereas I'd go back to the base and each time I'm like, whoa, what the hell's all this shit? Like there's all these cool new machines around. So we had a pretty good time playing that game. It's like, honestly, it's one of my favorite like artistically designed games. I think it has like the smartest UI, and the more you play it, the more you're like, holy shit, like every little piece of that game just like tells you what's happening with whatever it is, whether it's your backpack or your astronaut or your machine you're working on or the power you're getting. Like it's all super, super smartly designed. So I really like it for that. Other than that, I've been playing Pokemon Gold. Actually, I started running through Pokemon Gold pretty like seriously. I usually like dip my toes in the first like badge and then just stop playing. But I think I'm at the 4th badge now. What the fuck was that? Oh, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, my Siri just went off. Yeah, so
I heard it.
I started playing Pokemon Gold pretty seriously, and I got up to the 4th badge. Having a pretty good time with it. Like, it's my favorite Pokemon game. Like, I find like just the music and the art and stuff in that game super nostalgic. I finally got like a team of 6 now that like I'm pretty happy with. So I'm kind of working on just like getting them all leveled up and evolved. I know you asked and really cared about which 6 are on my team, so I'm going to tell you. I picked Cyndaquil as my starting guy. And then now he's Quilava, the like middle guy. I got a Magikarp, who's like cusp. He's almost Gyarados. Although I forgot in this game. Okay, I'm gonna ask you for your opinion, dude. You know in Pokemon Gold, there's a red Gyarados.
Yeah.
Do I keep my OG Gyarados that I trained? It was a level 5 Magikarp that I caught, and I've trained it up almost to a Gyarados. Or do I catch the red one in the Lake of Rage and use that one? I forgot that one was in this game, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna get a Gyarados, and I was like, oh fuck, you get that one like pretty much guaranteed, like as long as you don't fuck up the catching.
Is red Gyarados the first example of like a shiny Pokemon?
So Gold and Silver is the first game that had them because it was something that like the Game Boy Color could do. They like wanted to show it off, kind of thing. And the red Gyarados is kind of like the tutorial shiny Pokemon, if you will. It's like to show you that they exist without you having to like chance to run into them.
Okay,
and it's almost like
that makes sense.
You don't even really realize that like that's kind of what it's telling you. You just like, oh, cool, there's like a red Gyarados, and then what color shiny Rattata is, but
I don't know either. Actually, I've seen so few of them. Anyways, continue.
Yeah. So, and then basically on that, so I'm gonna do a quick little shout out to that little handheld emulator, dude, because I went ham
Yeah, do
on
it.
I went ham on the friggin' like the UI stuff yesterday. I got a little Wi-Fi adapter for it, so I could like upgrade it. So I basically have this little. I bought it off Amazon. I'll show it on the screen here. It's a little like handheld, call it handheld emulator, I guess. So it's basically like a PSP layout, kind of with two joysticks. I guess I'll say that's the closest thing I can describe it to. And I loaded up with a whole bunch of games. I've been playing Pokemon Gold on it. And it has a bunch of really, really neat features. It just like looks really slick. It's very Netflix like. I actually got it to do this thing now. So when I go through the games list, it'll show me like the box of the game, the cartridge of the game. It starts with a screenshot of the game, and if you stay on it for a sec, it'll start to play a video of the game, so you can see what the gameplay looks like. So it's like this really slick, cool, like it's like a little video game museum, which is kind of neat. And I actually found out the other day it has a cool like screensaver feature. So if I let it sit on the menu, it actually will just start playing videos from like the ones that you would see when you're scrolling through the list. So you'll just see like a random game on it, and it'll show the name of the game and the system and stuff. So you can just kind of go and like randomly see cool little like throwbacks, or if you put a whole bunch of games you don't know of on there, you can find one that looks cool. And then the extremely cool thing about it is not only is it like a cool screensaver, when there is a game that you see and you're like, oh shit, that game looks cool, you can hit start and it will just launch that game for you. So it's like this cool little, you could just set it on a desk and just have it play random games and just pick it up and press start at any time, and it'll just start playing whatever game was on the screensaver, which I thought was like super cool. It's like, it's a super unnecessary feature. But anyways, I've been like super obsessed with this thing. It was like $150 on Amazon. If you've ever been into like any kind of like emulation, or you know how to do that kind of stuff, it's pretty simple to set it up. And then the last thing I've been playing, which me and you played together, was Rainbow Six Extraction, which I think we'll probably play together after the podcast is done. I know we didn't talk about what game we're going to play, but I think we'll probably play more of that.
You're cutting out, buddy.
You're cutting out. You're cutting out. Sorry. Let me just readjust myself here. So yeah, so we played Rainbow Six Extraction, which was, I think we were both pleasantly surprised by it. I was not expecting to like that game as much as I did at first. When I turned it on, you'll even, you like, Dan will agree, like we'll agree, he'll you know, he heard me say it, like you see the first couple like character models and you're like, oh, like this looks pretty old. Like you could tell it doesn't look like a new game, and then it looks like reused assets. But then pretty quickly, like, we sort of found out like, the gameplay is like pretty unique, and like it's really cool how they reused the assets from Rainbow Six Siege and made it into a completely different game. And it I was saying to Dan, it feels like a love letter, like Counter-Strike did, where like it's like they took Half-Life and made it into this like completely different game that ended up being its own thing. And this feels very much like that. Like it doesn't feel like Siege. Like it has elements where you're like, oh, this is from Siege, that's funny, but like the gameplay itself is very, very different, and it's it was a nice surprise. So that's basically what I've been playing. Pokemon, Traction, and of course Halo. Lots of Halo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to like. It's funny you mentioned Extraction, and like out of all the games I played this week, I actually completely forgot that we played Extraction. So that actually adds more. So let me see if I can go day by day and like catalog how like what I played this week.
Yeah, you just smashed out a list to us one day, and we were like, "What?"
I just got super motivated. I was sick. I really couldn't do much, and I was like, "Man, I'm just gonna play some video games here while I have the time to do so." So, I started on Saturday. I downloaded, or actually, I just started playing the Gunk. Okay, so I'm gonna tell a story first. What I did, shout out to how long to beat, which allowed me to be able to like budget my time to figure out which games I can prioritize and beat really quickly, and those are the games that I'm basically like just mashing through right now. So shout out to How Long to Beat, who I also added to my home screen, so I have quick access to that website whenever I need it. And that's our first official sponsorship / not unofficial sponsorship of or it's free. Anyways, I went on there. I saw Gunk was about 5 hours, so I was like, you know what? I've got Saturday afternoon, not a lot to do. I'm gonna do all the stuff around the house that I have to do, or on Sunday rather, and I'm just gonna go and beat this game. And so I sat down and beat the Gunk. It took about 5 hours. Pretty good. Give it probably about a 7 out of 10. 5 hours, yeah. So I didn't get the equivalent of the platinum. I think I got like maybe like 80% of the trophies and achievements, and then I was good. So that was Sunday. Monday, I decided I was gonna play. I'm lying. Sunday night after I beat the gunk, I decided I was gonna start Donut County because I had heard good things about it, and so I played Donut County, beat it. I think I woke up on Monday and probably like finished it. That game was about 2 hours long. So Donut County and the gunk so far. Then there's this little game I was really excited to play, which is called Forgotten City. You may have heard of it. A lot of people were covering it toward the end of last year. It made a lot of people's end of year lists. It's based on a Skyrim mod, and it's kind of like a mystery slash first person dialogue centric, like time looping kind of crazy game. Anyways, it was fantastic. I loved it. It was one of my favorite games of last year. So I beat that in about a day, and I was able to get I think 3 of the 4 endings. So I'll probably go back to that at some point. So I've got Donut County, Gunk, Forgotten City. I beat the Halo campaign and was able to get all the collectibles. That was kind of how it all started. And then last night we started Extraction after it came to Game Pass. And yeah, I think that's it. So I've been playing quite a bit this week. Though the game I will talk about for a few moments if I can is Forgotten City.
You want to talk about a fucking video game, dude? What the fuck is your problem? Continue, I'm sorry.
So Forgotten City is
threw him off.
I'm like just trying to like process like this game has so much going on, but it's basically like it looks like Skyrim, but it's a very polished version of Skyrim mechanics. It's very dialogue heavy. It really encourages you to explore the city of. So it's I don't want to give away too much, but it's set in Rome. Generally speaking, it's set in Rome, a lost city in Rome.
Oh, okay.
And so, but it's not quite that simple. So it's set in Rome, and then you basically like you just explore relationships with a bunch of different characters, and you have to solve this mystery of the golden rule. And yeah, you just unravel a bunch of different things. Like I'm trying to like part of this game was the mystique of me going into it and not knowing anything about it other than it was a Skyrim mod. And that kind of preserves it. So I'm trying to like walk the line. I'm not saying too much about it, but I would highly recommend anybody that has Game Pass play it. It's on both console, cloud. I don't know if it's on cloud, but I know it's on console and PC. Play it. It's great. It's one of the best dialogue games I've ever played. It was probably about maybe 8 to 9 hours, so it's a pretty quick playthrough if you have a couple of sittings. There are multiple endings. There are a couple of different ways to go about playing the game. Tons of dialogue options, and yeah, I have nothing but positive things to say about it. So that was my pick for the week is Forgotten City. Go and play it if you haven't played it already. And then yeah, Extraction yesterday was a lot of fun. To your point, like a little bit of a homage to Counter-Strike. Really enjoyed it. Like didn't really know what to expect. I know we are kind of iffy on it. But Game Pass, as it does, allows us to kind of try a game out and see what we feel about it. And yeah, it was actually a lot of fun, and we're probably gonna end up playing that a little bit tonight if we have some time. It should be a lot of fun. So we'll keep checking in on Rainbow Six Extraction, I'm sure, as we get further and further into the campaign and play some other stuff.
Yeah, it definitely seems like one of those games where like once the honeymoon like effect wears off, like is it still going to be as fun? Like it seems like we don't know. Like I guess you get to that point where like you've seen all the levels, you know all the objectives, and like maybe it gets dull after a while. Like we haven't played that much yet to know if it is going to be like that. But maybe it does enough to keep itself entertaining. Like we don't know. Who knows? So far, so good though. First impressions were pretty good. Dude, you look pretty serious, dude.
Yeah, no, I'm I'm excited to talk about all the stuff that happened this week. I don't know what I'm gonna play this upcoming week because here's the also other part of this is that I'm like I've now set a standard that I can't possibly maintain unless I just play short games. And I'm not going to have nearly as much time next week to do all this. So, like, I have to... There's so much to fucking play.
You just got to take it one at a time, man. Just pick one and just go for it. Like, the only way to do it, I think.
there's just so much, and Arceus is coming out on Friday, and
yeah,
I want to play the DLC for Tsushima, and I want to revisit Horizon before Horizon comes out, and I have a full-time job and a dog, and holy crap, dude.
who would
We'll
have
figure
thought
it
that
out.
like you'd be at an age when like a game delay is actually kind of like a good thing.
I fucking delay everything this year,
Yeah,
please. Fucking delay Starfield another year.
I
Fucking
saw
do
the
it.
Ghost Runner thing and I was like, yeah, that's okay. I don't really care. I'll play that later. Like,
Dude, February's fucking packed. Like Dying Light is coming out. Dude, first of all, when Dying Light develop, and this is maybe part of the news segment, when the Dying Light developer said that game takes 500 hours to fucking beat, there is not a bigger fucking turnoff in gaming now
yeah,
than hearing that there's a 500 fucking nobody, no, unless that's the only gameplay you play this year,
yeah,
and
you have
even
to
then,
fucking love that game. Like,
you have to fucking love that game. Yeah, there's no way I'm putting. I played MLB last year fucking religiously, and I tapped out at 376 hours. There are 120 more fucking hours
that's
to beat
baby
Dying Light.
food. I played like 1,100 hours of Overwatch, and that's like the same shit over and over again.
Fucking lunatic, yeah.
But like, yeah, I can't imagine like wanting to do that again with another game. Like, it was so much time. Like, oh man.
The thing is like, I think we've reached this point now where like I was talking to you about this. Like I look for games that are briefer, like 1 or 2 sit downs, and like be able to fully play the game. Like that to me is now a more enticing title than a 70-hour game. I might do like maybe 3 or 4 of those a year that are like 40 to 50 hours, but like with Game Pass, and then with just just I think tighter single player narratives that are maybe only 10 or 15 hours, like I'd rather do that. Like Miles was kind of the perfect game for that. It was 20 hours long, you could do a ton of stuff, but the narrative was like 3.5 hours, like 5 hours. Like you could beat it in one sitting if you wanted to, and that is a much bigger draw to me than any 500-hour game. That being said, I am excited for Dying Light, but like not fucking 500 hours of it. That's so much time, dude. There's other games.
I think I like the like well,
Are you going Robo?
Am I going Robo?
Yeah, dude, your voice went Robo.
Oh, sick. No, sorry, what were you just talking about there? Lost my train of thought now. Too many games.
We were talking about Dying Light being 500 hours.
Yeah. Oh, that's what it was. I was saying like that. Maybe that's my thing with roguelikes lately. Is like because they're like I tend to like enjoy more like competitive games or like the more difficult games, and like the roguelikes have that same kind of like, I can play a run of this game and like it's challenging and it's fun, and then like I don't have to be sucked into it for hours. So like I've been playing, like I forgot actually Tribes of Midgard was another thing I've been playing like pretty like significantly, like for a decent amount of time, for the like last little bit with James. And like that's the same kind of thing. Like it's nice to be able to just hop in and like make progression in some form, whether it's like unlocking a few things or like getting some currency, and then like next time you play you can do some more stuff. Like I don't know, that stuff is really appealing right now because it's not like a huge investment. Like I started both like Horizon, God of War, and like I know those are both like, I'm like, man, once I get into these, it's like I gotta see them through, and it's like they're like 20 to 30 hour endeavors. I'm sure. I think Horizon's probably longer, and like it's like it's tough. I'm having trouble like committing myself to them right now. What you got going on? Why are you looking all serious, dude?
I was just reading a lot about. So one of the things that we'll probably just jump into news now, because I think we can talk about the longevity of like how fucking long games are for literally 500 hours probably. But the big news this week, and this will probably spark quite a big discussion. I don't know if we're gonna actually have a ton of topics this week. I'm sure we can jump into some peripheral stuff, but the meat of today is going to be talking about this massive fucking Microsoft acquisition of Activision Blizzard. And I have a lot of thoughts on it, and some are positive, some are a little bit worrisome, and then I think generally speaking, like the reception has been very positive, and I understand why for a number of different reasons. But I do want to kind of get into some of it because I've like even just kind of reading and interacting with people about like things like even exclusivity and stuff like that. There's just a lot of things that come up from big acquisitions like this. So let's kind of kick it off from the very top. I'm going to leave it to you, Devyn, to kind of just talk about the news story, and then we'll dive into kind of a discussion around what do we think about it and kind of where are we at with it. So Microsoft bought Blizzard, Activision. How much fucking was it? How much did they pay?
Was 68 billion? What was it?
$68.7 goddamn billion.
Yeah.
It's a lot of goddamn money. And if you got that on Tuesday, you would not have a significant change in your life by today. I brought it back.
It's you did bring it back. You would, well, I think they had some positive press. I think as a corporate entity, you definitely things changed for you in that time period. But yeah, as an individual, sure, for sure. But yeah, dude, that was insanity. I literally woke up to like 100 and something text messages, and I was like, "What is happening?" And like, you guys were talking about it. Like my other friends were talking about it. Like my Discord friends were talking about it. Like it just like the news of the day for sure. Like it was on everybody's mind. All social media was talking about it. Like it was big deal. Like it was so big of a deal that it was like outside of gaming big. Like it's really big. Like I mean, from within gaming, it almost looks like the good guys buying the bad guys, like because Activision's like not been in a good place at all lately. And then like one day Microsoft just comes up and buys them, and it's like is this real life? Like it just felt so like like I just couldn't believe it. Yeah, it seemed so unreal.
Yeah, I mean, it's a huge acquisition. I'm just watching our viewer count go up, and we're at 5 people right now. So welcome 5 people. Oh, it just went down to 4. I shouldn't have said shit. I'm so sorry. Fuck, I just jinxed it. It's like every Halo match ever. Hey, we're catching up. We're fucking doing well. And then we just like shit the bed and completely.
The thing you have to keep in mind though, dude, is like the viewer count's not always synced up like properly. So like by the time you've seen it, they're probably gone anyway. So.
It was suspiciously timely. I literally said 5, and that shit just fucking.
Oh, look at that! Thanks, Jason.
Jonathan, what's up, buddy?
Yo, don't dox him, dude.
I'm doxing him, bro. J-Swag. His fucking last name is in his thing.
I didn't know that until you said it. You dox him now. Now I know his full fucking name, dude. Doxy. Is that why your name is Doxy?
Yeah, I dox people, dude.
Straight up
I have an affinity for doxing people.
Well, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's a lot of fucking money, and it's a big acquisition, and it kind of is a situation like the good guys buying kind of the bad guys. So here's the thing: Microsoft, up until this point, we actually talked about this at the beginning of the year, which is like, what are the most expensive game studio acquisitions of all time? Because I think, what were we talking about? Tencent buying, something. Was it Tencent buying somebody, or somebody bought Tencent? Like, what was it? Do you remember? And we went through like the list of all the acquisitions.
I know it wasn't the Tencent PUBG. That was like a long time ago. I know. Yeah, I do remember we had this conversation recently. Let's look this up again then.
We might have actually. You know what it might have been?
It was my history of largest video game.
Is it Zynga? It was Zynga got bought out by somebody. Was that not it?
Yeah, Take-Two. Take-Two bought Zynga for $12.7 billion.
That was it. Yeah. So we were talking about that, and then we were comparing that to holy shit, did they blow the record out of the water? But yeah, that was like I think the biggest video game acquisition of all time up until this now, which is fucking unreal.
Dude, it's crazy. Like just looking at the top 10 here, like the top 10 acquisitions, you'd think like Tencent would be the scary one, but like Microsoft has just as many high like they have more. They have like, so they each have 3, but Microsoft's are higher up than Tencent's are. Like they spend more money. That's pretty crazy.
Oh, dude, the drop off from like 1 to 2 is what? It's like $52 billion or something like that. Like
68.7 billion, and then 12.7 is the next one. And then even after that is 8.6.
$56 billion. All of the other acquisitions could be done with the delta between the first and second place. That's crazy.
There's even acquisitions that happened here that are done. Like, so Activision Blizzard buying King is the 5th one, and now they're part of the first one.
Yeah.
Like that's nuts, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, man. It's crazy. It's crazy stuff. And yeah, I think, I mean, we could probably talk about kind of our thoughts on it. So my initial reaction was, okay, like it's a big thing. Like I didn't even actually see the dollar amount. I think at first, I think you kind of told me like midway throughout the day, it just didn't come across in anything that I had read about it. I don't know how I avoided it. Somebody made a joke about $69 billion, and I'm pretty sure that's what I was like. Wait, $69 fucking billion? Are you kidding me?
It's like the Slowpoke meme. We're all just chilling. You're like, yo, 68 billion? You're like, yeah, dude. That like what? That's the crazy part, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, the acquisition itself, I just think that the implications of what it means for Microsoft, bolstering their first party studios, it's huge. And then there's been a lot of discourse. Thankfully, we're doing this a couple days after the dust has kind of settled, so there's already been some discourse and some further detail rather than just kind of that initial reaction day where there was a lot of questions and stones that were kind of unturned. But what we know now is it sounds like the intent is still going to be to have exclusive content on the Xbox platform, but I think current agreements and big franchises like Call of Duty, I think the intent is to keep those multi-platform from what we found out. But obviously, this is a huge deal for Microsoft. Like they're bolstering again their Game Pass subscription service, which I think now I thought it was inevitable that it was going to see a substantial price hike after Starfield and like once like Halo and all this stuff came out. If you think that fucking Game Pass is going to stay at the current price point that it's at right now, you're insane. That shit is going to jump up at some point in the next couple of years, and it's going to be a pretty big jump, is my guess, because they're going to have to recoup some of that $70 billion.
They're going to leverage those Activision Blizzard properties, and they're going to have.
I
think they're going to have a tier of like, you get a WoW subscription, you get Call of Duty, like that stuff. Like it'll be a more expensive tier. I think for sure they're just going to like mash it into Game Pass.
Yeah, maybe it's like the premium bundles for other games, like the Forza premium bundle. Maybe you get that as part of, a subscription, whatever the case might be. I think you're right.
Yeah.
I think a tiered system is probably on the way. But yeah, like it's crazy. It's a lot of money. It changes substantially the landscape of gaming. And I think this is where we can probably have a little bit of discourse around this, but like for the better, for the worse, I don't know quite yet. I think for the actual company itself, like Activision Blizzard, we've heard a lot of the stuff that's been going on there. So I think culturally it's going to be an improvement. And a lot of the developers have been vocal about being happy to join kind of a place that's been at least positive culturally from everything that we've heard, even though there's been some bad press around Bobby Kotick obviously staying around until the acquisition's final next June and his fucking $400 million payout at the end of it, which is all crazy.
Tone deaf like interviews he's had since the like announcement. He's just like, yo man, yeah. Some of the things he said is just like, holy crap, he is like the evil corporate lord. Like, holy, I don't know how he doesn't see it. It's crazy.
People like Vaultier for so much, and man, as Activision Blizzard not just like a fucking monolith of just negativity in the gaming industry. Like they're
they have
worth so much more too.
I don't know if he's still there anymore. Was it? And I want to say Andrew Ryan. That's the guy from BioShock, isn't it? No, I think that might be his name.
Maybe.
They have a dude.
We can look into this.
He looks like he's kind of the same. I've heard bad things about him as well. Oh, Patrick Soderlund. His name just popped in my head. His name, I'm pretty sure that's him. Is that it? Let me see.
Yeah, from EA.
Yeah, no, is this the guy? No, this guy looks cool. I don't think it's this guy.
I was just gonna say, I think this is a guy that's come out at a lot of the EA like play stuff and like has presented there. Are you thinking of an Activision dude?
Oh, it's this guy, Andrew Wilson. That's his name. He's still there.
How evil does this motherfucker look? He doesn't look evil. He looks like Sawyer. Oh, it's a different guy. Andrew Wilson, Activision Blizzard.
No, he doesn't work for Activision. He works for EA.
Oh, I've got you, Andrew Wilson. Yeah.
Wow, there's a lot of Andrew Wilsons here. Anyway.
Oh yeah, this guy looks fucking evil. He's always looked evil.
But yeah, I think
that guy's jawline screams like white collar crime. Screams white collar crime.
There was another kind of like side story that came out sort of recently about it was kind of related to Activision Blizzard. I think it was Raven Software. They're a bunch of their QA testers. They have like a workers union, and they basically like put a call to Activision Blizzard to like formally recognize the union. Pull this up to make sure I have all that details right.
I saw that. Yeah. So there's this photo, like quick sidetrack. There's this photo of Andrew Wilson in like an all black suit. He looks like a fucking villain. Like he looks like he looks like a Bond villain.
Like I feel like he's the reason that like all the like sports games and stuff are so like money grubby. Like he just seems like that guy.
Yeah, dude. But like, holy shit, does he look like it?
Your quality assurance workers at Raven, a subsidiary of Activision Blizzard, unionizing with the Communication Workers of America, the group called Game Workers Alliance. It's the first group to. Workers are asking the company to voluntarily recognize the union, which has the support of the supermajority of Raven software QA workers. Huh. Wow, Raven software QA workers have been on strike since early December? Wow. That was so.
All right, anyway.
Sorry, what?
Go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say, to go back to like the original conversation about the like, is the deal like good or not? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's part of the problem with some of the discourse. Is like, I don't think it's that black and white. Like, I think it's gonna be good and bad. Like, I think in some ways it's gonna hurt franchises people like, and in some ways it's gonna bring back ones. Like Phil Spencer's been pretty vocal about wanting to revive old Activision franchises. So like he's probably got stuff in mind already. And I just like, I feel like Call of Duty is definitely going to like take their foot off the gas for a bit and kind of rethink things. So like big fans of that. Like Warzone, I think is going to change significantly. Like that, I don't know, the whole microtransaction structure is like based around Activision's business practices. And like, I don't think they're going to continue to run it that way. So like, who knows how things are going to change. And I also don't think that like one person or company is going to influence that many different people and companies as well. Like it's they made a purchase and they're still going to oversee those things. So like I'm sure things will change. Like they're just like from, I guess, a corporate perspective, like they're going to be able to make changes, but like there's still like individuals that are shitty people that still work there that like, you know, eventually they're going to hopefully get that fished out. But I think that stuff is going to take a long time before we see the big changes that might happen here. But like maybe 5 to 10 years, like maybe 5 years, I think is probably a better turnaround. Like kind of like when they bought those other companies and they announced like 10 or whatever at that E3 when they had those like super acquisitions. I think like even just now we're starting to see like some of those things come to light.
Yeah, I mean, like you're right. I don't think it's as black and white, and these things never are. But I think in general, and it's a very large generalization, is like anytime you form a monopoly in anything, it kind of scary because you allow a single entity to really like dictate not only just price point but also just like they control everything for the most part. And to be fair, like Microsoft's not a monopoly right now by any stretch of the imagination, but like they're getting there. They're getting close. Like they've consolidated a lot of the games industry under their umbrella for their own benefit. And right now, I think like all of us are benefiting from it. Here's the thing: as a Game Pass subscriber, it's fucking great. If I get to play Call of Duty every year and never have to pay full price for a game or any Activision game or Blizzard game, like I'm 100% on board with that. There's nobody that shouldn't be on board with that because as a consumer, it benefits you. The scary part is like the scary part for me is that Game Pass as like a package is still incredible. It's the most valuable thing in gaming. Yada yada yada. There are so many studios underneath the Xbox Studios umbrella right now that I think it's impossible for Phil Spencer to, I think, be attuned to everything that's going on in all of those studios.
Yeah,
and you potentially leave room for leadership and stuff like that to not like to mismanage studios or potentially not produce just grade A content. And I think, you know, look at Halo up until when it brought their great creative team on board. That game was potentially going to be a train wreck until people came in and kind of fixed that game. And I think, you know, the more studios that you add under Phil Spencer's belt that he has to look over, the more challenging it becomes to be completely attuned to what's happening in every single one of those studios on a granular level, right? We're not talking about 10 studios anymore. We're talking about 30 plus studios, if I'm not mistaken. Some of those studios that have hundreds of people working in them across multiple teams in multiple different cities. Like that's not an easy thing to manage. And so I think that's going to be a challenge. And then I think the other piece is, you know, like the price of Game Pass will go up at some point, and it's warranted. Like you're getting a lot more on Game Pass now than you were getting even just a couple of years ago. We got 2 massive Microsoft Studio releases. Starfield's coming out this year. Call of Duty's going to be on there this year. Like there's just so much content that's going there. But if you continue to have big assets,
like you need to be able to give people options because if it's just like $30, then like some people are just going to straight up not be able to afford it.
Yeah, you get kind of priced out of it, right? And everybody uses, like, I was just looking at a thread on Twitter, like people use the dollar price point for Game Pass. Like, you can play it for $1 on Game Pass. It's like, well, you can play it for $1 on Game Pass if you're a first time Game Pass subscriber. If you're like me that's had Game Pass for a while, you're paying a full $20 a month. Like, and that still costs you, whatever, over the course of a year. It still only amounts to 2 games, but it's not, Game Pass is not $1. There's an actual cost that you pay to be able to be a part of it, right? So yeah, there's nothing I'm concerned about because, again, for me, like, if nothing changes right now, great, we get access to more games. Like, that's all I fucking need right now is access to games. But, like, overall, it's a positive. It means more people get to play more games, some of which are massive franchises. But anytime that you start to get into an area where, like, a single company controls a lot of a particular industry, you get yourself into an area where you might be asking for it a little bit. Maybe not now, maybe not 2 or 3 years from now. But let's say that Microsoft goes out and decides to buy EA now. Like, I think that that's where, like, it's going to get very, very, I say interesting, but, like, I think, I don't know. I don't know if that would be a positive thing, is what I'm trying to say. I don't know if one company owning every major gaming company under it for the sake of bolstering its own library of games is going to be a positive in the long term. I think that could potentially hurt competition in the industry, and it may not push innovation the same way that it's been pushed. And I'll just go back to this, like, really quickly, is the reason that things like Game Pass exist is because there's been competition in the console gaming space for so long. Microsoft built this Game Pass like service as a result of not having a great team of first party studios, and the route that they went is now going into being able to actually have great partnerships with third parties and being able to buy third party developers and putting them under their first party. But the reason that exists is because there's been competition in that space. If you take away that competition, you don't necessarily know what you're going to end up with in terms of long term innovation and big companies like Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo pushing one another. And that's scary because I think they all do things really, really well. Microsoft is killing the cloud Game Pass subscription space right now. But Sony, I think, still has a really, really good lock on big third party, big first party experiences. They all have their strengths, and I think that they have to push each other. I think they continue to have to push each other as companies, and I think when one company consolidates everything, it makes it harder for that competition to exist. I'm kind of rambling a little bit, but it's just a lot of free-flowing thoughts. Like, this is where my mind has been all week. I'm happy as a Game Pass subscriber, but as, like, somebody that's observed big companies buy big companies and then see shit content produced, it worries me.
Yeah,
and the example I will use is Disney buying Lucas and then making a really shitty trilogy of Star Wars movies. Like it happens. Like, these things happen.
Yeah, I think the fact that they're a hardware manufacturer as well is, like, the kind of scary part, is, like, because they could just clearly use it to, like, benefit them, like, for that. But I mean, to give them credit, it seems like Phil Spencer doesn't seem like that's, like, the route he wants to go. Like,
yeah,
it really seems like they're gonna hopefully just have some multi-platform studios that, like, literally, like, that's all they do is just make games for both consoles. And, like, I think that would be smart for them because, yeah, like, why would they want to lose the revenue they get from PS4 players or PS5 players for Call of Duty? Like, that's definitely one of their bigger audiences. Like, Call of Duty, I'm sure, has more players on PlayStation. Like, they certainly don't want to lose that revenue. So I have faith that they're gonna, like, at least allow it to work in both spaces for some of those places, like some of those companies. But they still, like you said, like, at any moment they could just walk into one of those studios and be like, you're making one of these for us. Or the other thing I think is particularly scary to me is, like, I don't know, Phil Spencer's not going to be around forever. Like, if he decides to move on, or, like, like, something happens or he just gets old and retires, like, if someone doesn't think like he does, and, like, they get all those studios under their control, then, like, you get another Activision on your hands there. Like, who knows? Like, so
man,
those are the scary things about that the size of it is the potential of, like, what could happen, like, in the future.
Yeah, and I think, like, there's not really, unless Apple or Google goes out and buys Sony and EA and all these guys, like, and then even then, like, you just have there's just two companies that essentially have a monopoly each. It could just get very, very sticky. So I'm happy right now Phil Spencer's done amazing work, I think, to get Microsoft to spend money and just like build a really really great catalog of studios and games that are coming to that platform. Microsoft hasn't had a great record of managing their studios in a great way either, and so that concerns me in some ways, especially with a larger group of studios. But by all accounts, like everything's been positive so far. There hasn't really been anything that negative has come from the Phil Spencer um, time at Microsoft or leading the head of Xbox Studios. But to your point, yeah, like he's not going to be around forever. And if the next person comes in and is another Don Mattrick, like we're fucked. Like it's going to suck for
Yeah.
gamers that one person is just changing the landscape of something that we love very much. And if that's the case, like if it changes that significantly, that's a scary thing. That might be where kind of draw the line and you don't necessarily game anymore, right? So it's scary. I'm cautiously optimistic that hopefully they don't do that, and maybe Phil Spencer has a partner that's introduced that like will get behind that vision, and then they carry on that forward. But yeah, monopolies are a scary thing in theory.
I can't believe I literally like I can't believe I didn't mention it at all. But like being an Overwatch fan, the fact that they're in control of that now is like, yeah. I mean, I guess I think I'm excited about that. Like, I think I have hope that like it'll get done and it'll be good. Like it seemed like it was in a dark place, so a bunch of streamers like had a creators meeting like maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and they came back and were like, we're excited about the future. We're really excited, but we can't say why. Like none of them said anything. Like I can't imagine they knew about this, but like it kind of feels like this was the thing they were talking about.
Well, I mean, you heard rumblings. Like people have been talking about big acquisitions, and they still continue to get rumored. Like there was a rumor I read today that Sony's preparing to make a big acquisition now too. Like
Yeah.
I do like my hope is that it stops. That's really it. Like we're good now. I think we were good with Bethesda. Activision probably needed a cultural uprooting, and if Microsoft can do that for them and make it a better place to work for a lot of people, more power to them. And I'm super happy for the people that work at Activision Blizzard. I think it needs to stop. Like I don't want to see a reality where Sony owns EA, Microsoft owns Activision. Like I don't see a positive coming from that in the long term, even though it probably benefits us in the short term in some way, as it does right now. But it's scary, and I don't want to see it happen anymore. We're good. I think we're good. Big companies, as a most recent $70 billion inheritor of $70 billion in my brain, not in reality, please stop buying massive companies. That's some scary shit that's going on. But we'll see. I'm sure there's going to be other acquisitions at some point. If Microsoft buys EA, that's going to be crazy.
Well,
or Ubisoft, or
they could fix that too. Then, yeah, Ubisoft would be. They're kind of unique. I like them.
Like, yeah, I don't know, but I look at EA and I don't think EA needs like Activision Blizzard. I get on board with it because like they needed a big cultural uproot. Like Bobby Kotick is leaving. That is a net positive for the industry, no matter how you slice it. Is EA in such bad shape right now where there's like toxically? I'm sure there is in certain studios, but like toxic leadership and like to the extent that there was at Activision Blizzard, and like is Sony or Microsoft, if they acquire them, going to solve that? Like I don't think so. And also I think EA's done a lot to like better themselves in the eyes of gamers with good releases like Jedi Fallen Order, Titanfall 2. Like they've done some good work in the last couple of years. EA still makes some shitty decisions, but like they still make good games.
Made those games. EA published.
Yeah, but they're part of EA. They published them. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like for their sports games and stuff, I want to see them like they are just raking it in right now. The last like almost like 20 years of sports games have just been the same shit over and over again, and like I just want to see someone slap him in the face and be like, make it again. Let's just like start over and like give us something new. Like like they're totally just, that's just a cash cow. That whole Madden, FIFA, NHL, like that's all they are.
Well, and that's crazy is like it's an example of a monopoly. Like there used to be 2K games and they used to push the innovation like forward on those games. Yeah. And those 2K games, some of them are fucking really good. Like 2K5, I think it was, that there was a year that the 2K games came out at a $19 price point when they launched. So imagine a brand new game with a professional sports league license coming out at $19. Yeah, and like wiping
that's how much the EA game should be, like, because they're expansion packs of the ones before it. Like,
Yeah, and they fucking wiped the floor with them, and then they bought all the contracts. They had exclusive rights deals, and now all of a sudden you're in a situation where EA's basically gone unbothered for the last 2 decades, of sports franchise, and they've had innovation in there. You know, NHL's had really good years, as has FIFA, as has Madden, but like it's not nearly the degree of which they'd be competing if there was 2K on their heels every single year, making a really really fucking great hockey game and really pushing them to be innovative as well. Like the landscape would look different.
Yeah, I just know I've seen the same from NHL 16 to NHL 22, the same goalie reaction every time he wins a game, like the same animations. Like there's just what is that sound?
It's a zipper. I'm so sorry.
Oh, it sounded like a ferret. So yeah, you're farting the mic, dude. Like it's just, I don't know. It just seems so cashed in every time I play it. I'm like, oh, it's hockey. It's just good enough. Like it's like I want to play hockey, so it's hockey. But like, I don't know. Like, do they not give them enough time? Like, is it really difficult? Like, I don't understand why they don't ever like just ground up the whole game and like make it new. Like, just always looks like they just let's copy and paste the old game and then we'll just change a few things and like bam, here's the new game. Like that's what it looks like every time for the last like 6 or 7 years. Sick of it. That's my rant about EA Sports.
You're right, but like
they charge me $90 Canadian for that shit every goddamn year.
I mean, don't buy it. And also like I'm enjoying playing NHL right now. The part that's killing me is the fact that like there's features like crossplay. Yeah, like what the fuck, man? Like what were you thinking?
Like, why? Doesn't make any sense.
And it's on other games like Knockout City had it. Like why the fuck does NHL 22 not have crossplay on the same platform? I'm not talking about Xbox and PlayStation. I know they don't play nice together all the time. Devyn has a PS4, a perfectly fine functional PS4 that probably sounds like a fucking jet engine.
PS4 Pro, which also sounds like a jet engine.
Which is way fucking louder. Yeah, it's a pro jet engine. And that shit can't play with my PS5? Are you fucked in the head? What's this motherfucker's name with a black suit? What's his name? Andrew Wilson? Andrew Wilson, get your fucking shit together.
Get your head out of your ass and crossplay and make a new NHL game. Also, get that shit on PC, man. Get that NHL on PC. Come on.
But technically, you could do. Can you? No, you can't fucking do it because Game Pass. You could stream it through the. Can you stream it through the cloud?
There's no cloud one. Yeah, you can't. You can't play it on PC. The only way you can play it is to get like some NHL 07 thing and then like just mod it with the new rosters.
No, it's fucking stupid because you're not going to get an accurate character model of Austin Matthews with his beautiful fucking mustache, and that's a staple for modern NHL games.
That thing needs a couple million polygons, and you're gonna get 8 at most in this. Like it's not.
He's been the cover athlete 2 of the last 3 years. That's how fucking awesome he is.
We never had a Leaf as the cover athlete except for those like regional variants, and then all of a sudden we get Austin Matthews in our team, and bam.
I had a Phil Kessel, Joffrey Lupul. Fucking, I don't even remember who else was on that cover, but it sucks. They all fucking suck now. Joffrey Lupul was on an NHL cover at some point in time, a regional fucking NHL cover. Yeah, and I went to go and get. Here's a story actually for NHL, for anybody that actually plays NHL. I went downtown. It was 2011. I think it was NHL 2011 or 2010. I don't remember. I went downtown because Phil Kessel was signing fucking copies of NHL 10 or 11, whatever the hell it was. And this dude was talking about going to a bar and trying to pick up some chick while he was signing my fucking copy. I was like, Phil, get your head in the game, kid. I just came all the way here from Guelph.
You should have wingmanned him. You should have went with him and be like, yo, I'll be your wingman, dude. Like, I'll be your left winger, bro.
Phil Kessel, dude?
Yeah.
All right, I could have done it. I mean, I wasn't on my mind at the time. I was
hot dogs together, man. It would have been sweet.
Nah, it's not where I want to be. Like, I don't know. I would love to split a hot dog with Phil Kessel now. Not split a hot dog. I would love to go get a hot dog with Phil Kessel.
Split a hot dog like Fox and the Hound style.
Fucking Fox and the Hound, dude.
You both take a side of the hot dog and just eat it till you meet at the middle.
Yeah, the Doxy and the Thrill. Coming soon to Disney Plus. Yeah, now I'd fucking do that in a heartbeat. I would do it. Yeah, dude. But like not back then. I just wanted my copies, and it was a shitty fucking cover, and I don't even know where it is. Phil Kessel signed it, and was barely paying attention when it happened. That's never happened with Austin Matthews. That's all I'm saying. Yeah. Partially because we've been in a pandemic when both games came out, so he hasn't actually been able physically do in-person events, or I'm sure he would have. But that's not the point. It's not the point, Devyn.
Yeah.
I don't even fucking remember what my point was. Like, I don't even remember where I was going with this, to be honest with you.
What kind of dumb story is this?
The point is Andrew fucking Wilson, crossplay, PS4, PS5. If that shit isn't on it next year, fucking sell EA. Sell EA to Microsoft, please. Please fucking do it. I fucking dare you. Sell it.
At this point, I need you to sell them.
Yeah, put that shit on Game Pass, make it crossplay. Like, it's fucking ridiculous that that's not a real thing. We lost a viewer. I'm so sorry for going on this senseless rant. But, like, fuck, man.
Did anything else happen in the news?
No.
After a little EA rant. There's a little streaming thing happened. If anyone is into the streaming world, I'll be really quick about this. You know about this Pokemon thing? You hear about this? Pokemon and Ninja? They're two like really big streamers, so I figure it's worth
I know who they are, yeah. I know they are. Yeah, I know
okay. So I'll give you the whole
We split a hot dog once.
There's a drama that happened between these two. So this other guy, Gideon, I think is his name, some other streamer, he went into Pokemon's channel and did a hate raid, which is, I don't know if you know what a hate raid is, Dan, but it's, you can take all your viewers and you can go into somebody else's channel. That's called a raid. And usually you go in and you say, oh, cool, we're here. Like, it's a good thing. But sometimes people will do that and they'll go and they'll just say like racist shit or like misogynistic shit. Like they'll just bring their viewers in to be cocks to the whole chat.
It sounds like the internet. Yeah.
Yeah. So this happens, and Ninja is streaming later on, because the guy who did this got banned for doing it, and they banned him permanently, which was apparently like pretty harsh. So Ninja's streaming, and this guy does a donation to Ninja with a message. So sometimes you can do that and a message pops up on screen and he's like, hey, help me get unbanned from Twitch because like you're Ninja, you're huge. And Ninja said something about like, you can't be raiding bitches, like, and then like I'll call my Twitch representative or something, and like picked up his phone, and then Pokimane saw this and got upset and made a video about it. Then where the news came in was because she made a video about it and then was later threatened legal action by Ninja's lawyer / wife, which was the news story, was that like she was getting possibly sued by Ninja for defamation for making a video about being upset about like what had happened. So that was the gist of the drama. Anyways, it all got like worked out. He apologized. She's not getting sued. It's very crazy and ridiculous, but it was involving two really, really large streamers. So I was like, oh shit, two of the big boys are getting into it. So like, I thought it was pretty interesting.
Is this like the modern day equivalent of like the Biggie versus Tupac thing? Like, I don't have a reference point for like.
I guess no, like it's less violent than that because like they're still alive.
Yeah, to be fair, both Biggie and Tupac are dead.
It's like, I don't know, so some celebrities that hate each other. I don't know, like Paris Hilton and like Lindsay Lohan. Did they hate each other? Maybe this is more appropriate.
I don't care. I don't know.
Like
I guess Taylor Swift and Kanye West. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Kind of like that. It's like well, you know, you both make too much money for what you do anyway. But actually, fun fact.
Yeah, like what are we doing here? Okay.
Shroud and Pokimane, both from Mississauga, Ontario.
Didn't know that.
Massive streamers, both from hometown. My hometown, not yours.
I'm on Pokemon's side then. I lived in Mississauga when I was younger.
Oh, there you go. But yeah,
I almost doxed myself. I almost gave away my old address. I guess it's not really doxing, but if you time travel back 15 years, I doxed myself in Looper.
All right, man. I think that's other than that story. Like, I don't have any other ones I want to talk about. I pre-ordered Elden Ring. It's downloaded. I'm ready to go for it. No, it's not downloaded. I pre-ordered it though.
I mean, I can do a quick run of all the things I can think about this week. Lego Star Wars got a release date April 5th. Very excited for that. Game looks great. Apparently the devs are pieces of shit though. Not the devs, sorry, the publishers. Let's call it upper management. Let's call the upper management at TT Games that were like following their employees out and like harassing them and asking them if they didn't care about their job because they were leaving after like doing an immense amount of crunch. So fuck you, upper management at Telltale, who like did that shit to some of your employees.
I heard good things about them.
You should read the article. There was an article about like people leaving the office and like their managers like coming out and like following them and be like, do you really care about this game? Like is this what you love? Are you passionate about creating video games? Because like what you're doing is sending a message about you being passionate about video games and all that kind of stuff. I'm paraphrasing, but that was like what I read from the article. So it's sad. I'm excited for that game, but apparently it came at the expense of like a lot of employee well-being and like significant crunch because this game has been pushed back for I think almost 2 years now.
Yeah, I was gonna say I feel like it got announced a long time ago. Yeah,
it did. So I mean, I went to go and pre-order it because I'm excited. I'm a big Star Wars fan. I love Star Wars. And I went to go pre-order it, and I looked. I was like, I'm pretty sure I pre-ordered it like quite a while ago, and I had to get onto like the third page of my like GameStop like in-store like reservation thing, and I was like, holy shit! Like I did this in like May of 2019, like pre-pandemic. And here we are almost 3 years later, and that game is still not fucking out, which is just wild. So yeah, it's been announced for a while, and it's just been pushed back, and I guess there's a lot of turmoil at the studio that led to it not being a very great experience for the developers. So I'm sorry, devs of Telltale. I think you guys are great. Guys and gals are great.
It's not Telltale.
Everybody
dude.
at the studio is great. Not Telltale.
I gotta clarify. It's Traveler's Tales.
Traveler's Tales. My bad. I keep saying Telltale. Telltale's yeah. They're working on The Expanse. Traveler's Tales. TT. But yeah, no, they made great games. I love the Lego games. So shout out to y'all for making it what I hope is a great game. It looked really cool from the trailer.
Yeah,
and then
Lego
what else? What else?
Lego City Undercover are both dope games. Played them.
Also, Lego Marvel Superheroes. It was my first launch title that I played on my PS4. Was there any other news this week? Like any like? I'm trying to like rapid fire here. I know we don't have a lot of time. I'm just trying to like hit everything really quickly.
I think I'm pretty sure we got it all.
Arceus looks fucking great. Can we just talk about that again? It's out in a week. By the time that we do next week's episode, we're gonna have a good Pokemon game.
Well, we'll see. Yeah, it seems so far. I think impressions have been pretty good, right?
Yeah, everything sounds really good. Reading all the leaks on the subreddit, it sounds pretty pretty solid. That's all I got, man. That's all we got, I think, this week. I think that's a lot. I ranted about EA unnecessarily. We talked about a $70 billion acquisition.
No.
We
it's
laughed.
Never unnecessary to rant about EA.
Fair enough. I take that. Oh, nice burp, dude. I'm gonna have to edit that out.
God, yeah, I'm sorry. It just popped right out. I don't normally do that.
It's fine. I'll touch that up, I guess. I don't know how I'm gonna do that, but I had fun. Did you have fun?
Yeah, it was just like, honestly, I still think about the acquisition. I'm like, I just can't believe that happened. Sometimes it's like there's few things in gaming where that happens. Like when Sonic showed up in Smash Bros. Like, you know, you have those like, you're like, wow, this is supposed to be like never gonna happen.
I'll end on this note. I would love to do my job as poorly as Bobby Kotick did his job and get paid $300 million at the end of it. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That would be sick. I too would love that.
To be fair, like to clarify, I don't want to do the things that Bobby Kotick did. Just choose a job and be bad at it, and not like harmful to other people, but just be bad at your job. And like imagine getting a $300 million payout. That shit sucks. Like that's not good.
Yeah, not a good precedent. Like I can just
retire not cool. Happy. Yeah, fuck that guy. All right, dude, that's it. Let's play some games. I gotta eat some veggies here. I got some broccoli heads that haven't been bitten off yet. And I think I got some celery in here and some edamame shells. And holy fuck, do I have a lot of veggies. I will see you in a week from now when we'll talk about Arceus and our anticipation of playing Arceus. And anything else you want to add? Do you want to plug the socials again? What do you want to do?
Is it literally going to be the day after Arceus comes out? The day after the podcast?
Yeah, it comes out like midnight that night.
Ooh, sick. Okay. Yeah, I'm stoked for that. Might have to do a little midnight stream of Arceus then.
Yeah, I'll be down for that. I won't be streaming, but I'll watch your stream. I'll be there. I'll comment.
Cool. All right. Well, we'll take a break. We'll pop the stream off for a bit, and then we'll be back on for some Rainbow Six.
Yeah, come back and watch us extract some stuff and turn yellowy weird cocoon people into not yellowy wrapped cocoon people. Anyways, it's been a slice, y'all. Come find us next week on theslice.to. That's not a website. At theslice.to. Peace.
Take it easy.